Let's take a look at one of those emails in that DNC dump leak. Wasserman Schultz responding to Sanders' complaints that the party has not been fair to him. Quote, spoken like someone who has never been a member of the Democratic Party and has no understanding of what we do. My next guest is set to speak at the Democratic National Convention. Joining me right now is former Michigan Governor Jennifer Granholm. She is also the senior advisor to Correct the Record, a PAC supporting Hillary Clinton. Governor, it's nice to see you.
Great to be on.
Thank you so
Maria.
much for joining us.
Yeah.
First off, I want to ask you about policy, what we're going to hear this week from the convention for sure. But first, there is speculation that you are going to ultimately take over and become the head of the Democratic National Committee. Is that true?
No, that's news to me.
Yeah.
That's news to me. I have not talked with anybody on the campaign about that. And we've got Donna Brazil, who is taking over on an interim basis, although, frankly, she would be fabulous on a long-term basis as well, because everybody loves Donna Brazil. There are a lot of good people, I'm sure, who could do that job.
So you don't want the job?
Well, I have not talked with anybody about that. It's, so it's just not in my, necessarily in my future.
All right, let me ask you this, Governor, because, Hillary Clinton has her supporters, and they are loyal supporters. Donald Trump has his supporters, and he's got some loyal supporters as well. Then there's this huge block of independents. That's where I want to ask you about today. What do you think we will hear from this convention this week that's actually going to attract those independents?
Well, I think, first of all, she's got to really make this case about her economic plans affecting in a positive way the lives of real people. And the fact is, independents who are not aligned with parties often are really looking to hear what people are going to do for them. And she's got very specific strategies to be able to, this is a business network, business show, right? To be able to make sure that businesses are able to make the choice to manufacture advanced products in the United States, to be able to support the growth of jobs in the U.S. in a global economy. She's got very specific strategies on clean energy and making sure that those products are made in the U.S. and we're able to export. She's got specific strategies on raising people's incomes so that the economy does better. And I think you'll hear a lot about it. Starting with tonight. Tonight is the theme is about children, families, and how she helps support families, but it's really about how she helps to better individuals' economies, which obviously helps families.
But this is what I don't understand, and you have to connect the dots for us, because when you hear some of these policies in terms of what you're saying right now, it doesn't jive with what you would think actually does increase economic growth. So, I mean, the big issue...
What do you mean?
I'll tell you right now. Raising wages is going to make it harder for small business. Building on Obamacare is going to make it more expensive for small business. Raising taxes on the highest earners is going to impact small business. How does that lead to economic growth?
Well, you want to be able to make sure that people have the ability to buy the products. And so making sure that everybody grows, that we are all in this together, that if you can't, even if you're making $900 a week because you are earning a minimum wage, you're bringing home $900 a month, how can you afford to buy any of the products? How can you afford to buy any of the services? So you want to make sure that everybody has a chance to succeed. And she has a total comprehensive plan on small businesses, making sure they have access to capital, making sure we're supporting small business growth. She wants to be the small business president. So she's really listened to them about what it would take for them to be able to succeed. She knows that there are changes that need to happen within the Affordable Care Act, but she also knows that she's not going to put all of that burden onto businesses like it was in the past, where you had businesses who were picking up the full tab for people's health care. You want to have a shared responsibility for it.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point. But when we speak with people like the head of a franchise for McDonald's or the head of a small business, and we have these guys and gals on a lot, they say, look, raising the minimum wage to $15 on a national level is going to create real pressure for me. It might put us out of business. It might put us toward bankruptcy. And yes, we will be cutting jobs.
Well, so you want to make sure, though, that people who, if you're not making enough money to be even able to afford your rent because you are making $7 and some change an hour, you're not going to be able to see those people at McDonald's buying food.
So what about leaving it to the states? I mean, that's what Donald Trump said. Leave it to the states.
Yeah, he doesn't even want to have a minimum wage at all on the federal level.
He said he's not against raising the wage, but leave it to the states to decide, because everybody has a different income.
Yeah, he's also the guy who has said that wages may be too high. So honestly, you need to be able to balance it so that people who are going to buy your products have the means to be able to do it, and you're responsible in allowing some movement at the state level. She has said, obviously, that she'd like to see the states take these actions, but she knows that in regions things are a little bit different.
Yeah. He did say that he thought $7 was too low, actually, is what Donald Trump said. But let me ask you this.
Well, he's not advocating for an increase in it, that's for sure.
He said, leave it to the states, is what he said. Leave it to the... I asked Debbie Wasserman Schultz if she was favoring Hillary Clinton. This was back in March. Listen to what she said. I want to get your reaction.
There's just no shred of evidence to suggest that I'm favoring Hillary Clinton. I am running, Maria, if I wanted to go, I'm not doing a very good job wrapping the nomination up for her if I were actually favoring Hillary Clinton. I could have worked a lot harder at it.
Do you think these leaked emails contradict that statement?
Well, you know, the question is, are the emails from her or are they from staff members? You know, obviously the Democratic National Committee is comprised of a whole lot of staff members who have relationships on both sides. There were some emails that were against Hillary Clinton, some emails that were against Bernie Sanders. The bottom line is it's the states that decided, it's the voters in the states who decided who was going to be the nominee, and I don't think any of those emails had any impact on the outcome.
Governor, let me ask you now about the trust factor.
Yeah.
We know this has been one of the biggest issues for Hillary Clinton, right? People say they don't trust her. She lied. How is she going to change that, you know, perception out there? What are we going to hear? Because one of the things that people are saying is we're going to hear who the real Hillary Clinton is this week.
Yeah, I mean, that is going to be part of the strategy because, there, you know, she has this image out there, and the Republicans certainly last week spent all of their time hammering her, and so that you would think that she's this horrible monster. People need to hear from people who know her personally and who've been impacted by her personally. So you're going to hear a lot of real people who have stories about Hillary Clinton and how what she did helped them out, as well as people who know her. And that's going to start tonight. You're going to have all these big names speaking. Obviously, you got Michelle Obama tonight. You got Bernie Sanders tonight. You have Cory Booker tonight. Elizabeth Warren, which is great. Those are really important for the base. But what's really important is sort of the stuff that happens in between. I hope you guys cover some of the smaller speakers, you know, smaller in the sense of less time, because they will tell the story of Hillary Clinton.
Do you think the party has changed? I mean, from Barack Obama to Elizabeth Warren to Bernie Sanders, all the way to the left, has this party become much more to the left?
I think that the party platform is the most progressive that you have seen in a long time. And Bernie Sanders was very effective, I think, in making the case for college for all and all of that. I think that's really important. However, you know, it is her party. So she's going to put her mark on it, and we know that she's going to listen to all sides.
Governor, great to have you on the program
great
this morning.
To be here. Thanks
we'll be watching your speech. Thank you so much.
All right.